Judges 16:23. Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon, their God, and to rejoice. For they said, our God hath delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hands. 24. And when the people saw him, they praised their God. For they said, our God hath delivered into our hands our enemy, the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. Now you know the story. Samson was a judge in Israel. He was born to become a judge, to fight for the Israelites. But the man that was born a judge, they captured him. When they captured him, they chained him. After they chained him, they plucked his eyes. After they plucked his eyes, they carried him to Gaza. Listen to this. A mighty man. How did they manage to capture a man? A man that killed a lion with his bare hands. A man that killed 1,000 men with a jawbone of an ass. A man that did a lot of actions. Carried the gates of the city by himself. How did they manage to capture this man? It was not by strength. They involved an altar. They involved an altar in Gaza. And this is where I want to say something. Before they capture him physically, there was an altar that was speaking against him. And this is what I want to tell you. The altar was not speaking in Israel. The altar was speaking in Gaza, another place. That means there are people who can raise altars in the village and it will affect you in the city. There are people in the village who can raise altars in the village and it will affect people abroad. There are people that will not even raise altars in the village. They will raise altar in this city where you are to crumble your life. And some of them can even go as far to affect somebody in another country. There are people abroad that can never meet up. Not because God does not bless them, but there's an altar in their father's house that is fighting testimonies. There is an altar in their mother's house that is fighting testimonies. There is an altar that says, offer their dead body. You will never eat from the table. There is an altar that can stand against your happiness. There is an altar that can scatter what you carry. There is an altar that can fight you so that you don't end well. There is an altar that can waste your life. I came for that altar. I don't know the altar they've risen up to waste your life. I don't care the altar they've risen up to scatter your life. And look at where that altar is. Altar scatter. Altar scatter. If you shout amen, you are the one that just spoke to. Amen.